So it's been about 8, 9 days that I've stopped smoking weed, and there's a herb that I found out about. It's called mullein, and it opens up your lungs. And then what I've noticed is that it just helps me start coughing up all the mucus out of my lungs, especially as I'm not smoking. Okay, so I've been using this. This is my third day, 3 times a day, right before a meal or with a hungry stomach. I have this, so 40 drops of this, and I just drink it. And you want to use just literally a little bit of water to just drink this down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So yeah, I drink this and it supposedly cleans your system out. All addiction, there's a root cause for it. And really, I was smoking weed to numb myself, to numb my emotions, to run away from my reality, to run away from being with myself. And that's why a lot of us lead to watching porn, drinking, keeping ourselves busy and numbing ourself to not have to feel the emotions, to not feel the traumas and the things that we're actually dealing with inside of us. And it's interesting, as I've started to heal my traumas, and I'm very comfortable with myself. I love spending time with myself. I love spending time with all parts of myself. I slowly started to just drift away from wanting to smoke weed, because I'm like, I don't really need this in my life. I don't enjoy it like I used to. Like, I have no attachment to it. And that's why I chose to stop smoking weed, because there's no reason for it. And also, smoking, it hurts your lungs. You damage your lungs. The studies are there, all that stuff. So it's like, why would I do something that literally damages me and my system, right? So yeah, anyways, I'm drinking this. It doesn't taste anything, but it does smell kind of funky. That herb, mullein, it's definitely a good herb to, even if you're already smoking, you don't have to stop smoking to take this herb. Like, even if you're smoking cigarettes, whatever, and you don't plan on stopping, you can still take this and it will clean up your lungs and it will open up your airwaves or something. I don't know, look into it. I'm not a therapist, I'm not a physician. I'm simply sharing with you my personal experiences, and this is something that I heard about, so I have been using it. One of the main reasons why I stopped smoking weed was the damage it was doing to my lungs. And for me, I've been smoking, I'm 32 now, I've been smoking since I was like 13, 14. For the longest time, I was smoking like 5, 10, 15 joints a day. And I was also smoking cigarettes from like 15 all the way up to like 25. So at one point I stopped smoking cigarettes, and I thought weed doesn't damage your lungs, so I continued to smoke it. And of course, I was smoking it because I was addicted to it, which is an unpopular opinion. Most people think weed is not addictive. I believe it is. It became just a habit in my life. And in 2018, 19, I decided to run a half marathon. So I started training for it, and I was running like 1K, 2K, 3K, 5K, started working myself up. And I finally did run that half marathon. A year and a half later, I ran a 15K race in downtown Toronto. And I find it mind-blowing now that I actually did that while I was still smoking weed. And the only time I've ever had like a long break from smoking weed was in 2019, when I went and did a 10-day silent meditation retreat. And also about 7, 8 years ago, when I started to work on the oil rigs and we had to get drug tested. So I actually went without weed for like 8, 9 months. But that's it. So last year, around February, I decided to cut weed out of my life, and I started to just cut back. So I would go like a couple of weeks, then I would smoke a joint. A couple of weeks, smoke a joint. Or I would go visit a bunch of old friends, and I would smoke weed for a whole week, and then I would like stop for a couple of weeks. It's only recently that I've decided to not cut back, but fully stop smoking weed. And it's been about probably 10 to 11 days, and my lungs is just feeling better and better. So the main reason I stopped smoking weed, like I said, was because of the damage it was doing to my lungs. I watched this video a couple of months ago where it showed that a person who smokes a couple of joints a day is damaging their lungs just as much as a person who's smoking a pack of cigarettes a day. And of course, for me, I work out, I go for runs. And when I smoke weed for a couple of weeks straight, I notice that I go from being able to run 4K to only couple of half a K, because my lungs, and it's hard to breathe and all that. So that's definitely the main reason. And of course, in this video, I'm going to share a bunch of other reasons why I decided to cut weed out of my life. I don't feel like I need it. I don't want it. It's not serving me any purpose. It's actually slowing me down in many different ways. So I decided to cut that weed out of my life. And last 10 days, this morning I walked 5K and my lungs feel so much better. I feel just so much more aware. There's so much clarity. And yeah, I'm looking forward to keeping this train going. And I look forward to also sharing this journey with you guys on this platform.
Where you look, where you touch, where you feel, yeah. Where you look, where you touch, where you feel, yeah. Can we talk about me and you? Can we talk about the truth? I wanna know, I wanna know. Can we talk about me and you? Can we talk about me and you? Can we talk about the truth? I wanna know, I wanna know. Can we talk about me and you?
One of the other reasons why I am so grateful that I've stopped smoking weed, and I've noticed already. So when I smoked, there were so many times I would be having conversations and boom, as I'm talking to someone, all of a sudden I forget what I'm talking about. I'm having a deep conversation, all of a sudden I forget what I'm talking about. And also the fact that I have short-term memory for as long as I remember. So many things I would forget, people's names I just met or things I had to do. Literally, I have witnessed this and experienced this myself from smoking weed for such a long time. And I've noticed when I stopped smoking weed, I've been through those periods, and now it's been about 11, 12, 13 days now. In this video, I'm shooting these clips through a couple of days. But it's been about 12 to 15 days now that I've stopped smoking weed. And what I've noticed already is that my memory is starting to come back. I just noticed I remember more through the day. I remember things I have to do. I remember things, or talking to clients or talking to someone online, and I have to respond back to them. So many interesting things, but I remember more. And even having conversations with somebody, being in a deep conversation, I don't forget, what were we just talking about? Or what is it that you said about that thing? My memory is just getting better and better. So as you're watching this video, one of the best things that I believe anybody will benefit from when you start smoking weed also is just having your memory back, not having to trust a notebook or your notes or your reminder thing on your phone. You'll just remember because your memory is getting better. So for me, that's something that I am noticing too. So I love that. I'm grateful for it. And I can't wait till I'm, 30, 60, 90 days and I'm clear and I'm just my memory is even better and better. So I love that. And I've been working out. I actually worked out twice today. So right now I'm just this thing, I don't even know what it's called. I guess a foam, or I don't even know. But it is so good. Literally it's just I feel like it's somebody massaging me, So it's the best feeling in the world. And I hope if you're watching this, I hope you get encouraged to stop smoking weed. It's fucking not doing anything for you. Part of my language, but it's not. It really is not. And I understand you could be I focus more, I'm more creative, I'm more in the zone, or man, I had all those excuses all those years, okay? I feel like I'm more creative than I've ever been. I'm more motivated and self-motivated than I've ever been. And yeah, so I'm looking forward to just continuing this path and being not attached to smoking weed, to have fun and to go on with life, to do anything. Reason number 3 why I stopped smoking weed is because I wanted to experience my sober self. Experiencing my sober self. It's been beautiful. It's also, just overwhelming because so many emotions come up, especially when the first 2 weeks of quitting smoking weed, so many emotions come up. So many parts of you are trying to get you to smoke weed, your dopamine level, and so many things are just happening, okay? And your body, your mind, your emotions are not used to this. A lot of times we smoke weed to kind of just go numb, because we are not comfortable in our own skin, we're not comfortable with our own feelings, we're not comfortable with our own traumas. So we smoke something, we drink something, we watch Netflix to mask those feelings, right? So experiencing your sober self, experiencing your most authentic self, for me, it's been amazing. I'm just almost getting to know myself on a different level. So reason number 4 why I choose to stop smoking weed, and it's really something that I noticed after I stopped smoking weed, and now I'm on like day 22, 23, is like you just save money. I'm saving money now that I'm not spending, money on weed. On top of that, I believe our time is our most valuable asset. So what I'm saving even most of from this experience of not smoking weed is I'm saving more of my time. There was a lot of energy and time that was spent into smoking weed. And now, all that time is being put into me going to the gym, working on my businesses, doing my life, spending time with my family and friends. So it's just been very beneficial, and I'm already noticing that. Reason number 5, I think, is the most valuable one. A lot of times we have these addictions in our lives. And I only really learned and I became aware of this in the last few years. Whatever addiction that you have, running away from something, okay? And what I've realized is that I was smoking weed all those years because I didn't want to feel my feelings. I didn't want to sit with my feelings. I was too uncomfortable with my own shadow self in a way, and the traumas and everything that was there. So I would smoke weed to numb the pain. I would smoke weed to just kind of go through the process and just be high in the moment, and like I was masking the real traumas that I actually really needed to heal. In the last couple of years, I've done a lot of healing, my childhood trauma. I'm very close to my inner child. I'm very close to myself these days. I've established a very healthy relationship with my demons, I like to say. And it's interesting, as I have done this, I realized that I don't really want to smoke weed. I don't really need it. I don't have the requirements. I'm not running away to weed anymore. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Share your comments if you have questions on anything or you want me to make videos on certain topics. Feel free to share your questions. I'm getting used to vlogging, learning, and just, it is definitely some kind of effort. Like, you really gotta love it, because like setting up the camera to sit and talk, to share my experiences, to share my personal spaces, it's definitely something I'm getting out of my comfort zone. And at the same time, I really do want to share my message. I really do want to share my lessons and experiences. I really do want to also just document my life. Like, how cool it's gonna be fucking like 5 years from now, 10 years from now, looking at these videos and just seeing where I am, where I was, what I was thinking, how I was processing thoughts, experiences. So at the end of the day, I love it. I'm grateful for you guys watching, listening, growing with me. And subscribe, like, share, comment. That's some good stuff right there. So I love you guys. Stay grateful, and check out the podcast as well if you want to check out more content from me.